Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. This is Tasha M. Dyer, the Trade Whisperer, creator of the BYOB Cash Out Strategy. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me officially welcome you to Monday morning. Yes, it's Monday morning. And let me welcome you to our Monday morning profit call. Now, as you log in, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from. Along with those affirmations, guys, you want to drop it in the chat where you're calling in from, along with those affirmations, because we are definitely about to get started here in just a moment. But you definitely want to go ahead and drop it in the chat where you're calling in from. Awesome. Let me see who's on the line. Now, for those of you all who are with us, right? For those of you all who are here with us and you are streaming, you are wherever you are in the world. If you're joining us from Facebook, from YouTube, from LinkedIn, good morning to you all as well. But you want to go to that Facebook page. 2 million strong, 2 million strong, 2 million strong. That's all I need you to say. 2 million strong, 2 million strong, 2 million strong. And I need all of you all, while we do our introductions, get our mind right for this morning. I need every last one of you all to make sure that you go ahead and go to our Facebook page. It's a difference between a page and a group. Let me be clear. Go to our Facebook page, BYOB Movement. Like the page, share the stream. Like the page, share the stream. You see how easy that is? Like the page and share the screen. And then as we're doing that, as you're dropping your affirmations, if you have not registered for our prepaid card, debit card, look, there's a tongue twister this early in the morning. But if you have not done so, you need to make sure that you go ahead and you need to go to BYOB Movement Worldwide. BYOB Movement Worldwide. That is a website. Click prepaid debit card, go on here, scroll down, and make sure you register, sign up for that wait list, all right? So I'm telling you, it's coming soon. All right, more information will definitely be pushed out, so you want to make sure you do that. So now let's go ahead and dive in this morning. Let's see. And if you're calling in, you're on the stream, let me know where you're calling in from too. It's BYOB Worldwide here. All right, good morning, Milwaukee. Good morning, Milwaukee. Good morning, Toledo. Good morning, Cleveland. Good morning, Essex, UK. Good morning, Fort Polk, Louisiana. Good morning, Virginia. Good morning, Manchester, UK. Columbus, Ohio. Yes, 2 million strong, coming in from the UK. Good morning, Minnesota. Good morning, Chattanooga. Good morning, Greenville, South Carolina. Good morning, Cleveland. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. All right. So let's see who do we have, and let's see what we're talking about. Good morning, Jacksonville. I am an educated. I see Cleveland, Tennessee. I am an educated BYOB Master Trader, anointed for wealth. I am the signal. All my trades in profit. I am 777. That is who we are. That is what we are. Now we have turned the markets into our personal ATM is what we have done. The markets are now our personal ATM. And that's something to get excited about. Good morning, Oak Creek. Good morning, Oak Creek, Wisconsin. Good morning. Good morning, Cleveland, Ohio. Right? Now, if this is your first time here with us this morning, let me get a 111 in the chat. You're still learning how to cash out. Let me get a 222 in the chat. Your first time, a 111, still learning, 222. If you are cashing out, let me get a 777. If you are compounding, let me get an 888. I love it. All right, now let's dive in. Let's talk. So let me officially welcome all of you all. I'm excited to see the 7s and the 8s. I'm excited to see the 2s. I'm excited. Right. And then let me get another. I see the 6 and 6. You're like, do not leave that out. I'm telling you right now, do not leave that out, because that's what I'm doing. And you're gonna make sure yes. All right. So guys, so if you are, like I said, you're new to this call, I want to help you understand how this call schedule works. So what we do is Monday through Thursday at 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are live in the market. This is our profit call analyzation. Now, on Tuesday and Thursday nights, I'm giving you the call schedule. Tuesday and Thursday nights is at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's actually followed by a talk with the finance doctor. And that's where your education begins. Now, what we doing, right? We know the market slows down, right? That's what we know. Good morning, Jacksonville. We know the market slows down. So there is no 9 o'clock call right now. I want to be very, very clear, okay? There is no 9 a.m. call, okay? There is not. Also our Fusion Fridays, our women's call, right? All of that will pick back up in the new year. What we do know is that the market slows down, right? The market slows down during this time of the year. And we're going to do a little bit more focus on the education aspect of it, okay? We're going to do a lot more focus on the education, and I'm going to tell you why. How many of you all cashed out this weekend? Like, seriously. I saw many of you all, right? I saw many of you all walk around with $300 days, $400 days. How many of you all walked around with that this weekend? How many of you all cashed out? Even if you got a $5 weekend, right? Even if it was a $5 weekend, you don't make money when you're off normally. So my question is how many of you all cashed out? 777. Look at you guys cashing out. That's why we're doing what we're doing, okay? That's exactly why we're doing what we're doing. That's why. That's why we're about to walk through this. Give me a second. Get all this set back up for you. It's Monday. All right. So look at all the people who cashed out. Now, I'm going to spend some time right here. This also, I like the fact that we got a trigger now because it did trigger on the Harmonic Scanner as well. Where are we at? Did I lose it? Now, what you saw with Bitcoin, because obviously the weekend. Now, I'm not concerned about the price, right? We all know from an investment standpoint that this is going to rise back. We know that. This is all Omicron, and then Omicron, right? I'm telling you, it sounds like something else. It's just crazy, right? But this is what I was trying to explain to you guys last week, how this is going to impact the market. This is our markup. Now, I'm not starting here this morning, but I want you guys to understand this is our markup. All right. This is how we close the week out. And when we did this, what you guys got to cash out on was this movement here. Now, some of you guys, I'm sure, grabbed some of this spike, but what you guys got to grab and cash out on is the reality that the fundamentals met the technical analysis, right? And you got to cash out. Now, let me ask you a question, because we talk about the different phases of the education, right? Phase one be cash out strategy, add the time frame confluence, and then we do that top-down analysis. I saw one of the comments that talked about the top-down analysis approach. Now, do you understand after this weekend, for those of you all who got into the market and the charts, why that top-down analysis approach is so important? Let me get a, excuse me, let me get a 555 if you understand in trading this, why that's so important. Let me get a 5, whether you had a successful trade or not, right? Whether you had a successful trade or not, why it's so important. I just want a 555. Because remember, I need you guys to push the button. All right, we're in our demo accounts, and I really need you guys just to push the button. Like, I'm so serious. I just need you to push the button. And I say that because you have to get in there. That's why I said whether you had a successful trade or not, because the only way to get that experience is to push the button. All right. So let me ask you a question, and I'm going to start explaining the strategy, and we're going to start analyzing. How many of you all have never pushed a button before? Yes, you got more pips. Absolutely. How many of you all have never pushed a button before that's on this call? How many of you all have never taken a trade? You understand the strategy, you're looking at it, but you've never taken it. So everybody on this call has pushed the button. Everybody on this call. Every last one of you guys. Every last one. Okay. I'm going to roll with it. I'm gonna roll with it. That because I'm gonna challenge you. I'm gonna challenge you. I'm gonna challenge you. I'm gonna challenge you as well. I'm gonna challenge you all to push the button. Right. Good morning, South Carolina. Good morning, Columbia. All right. So let's take a look. Okay. Let us take a look. Okay. Let us take a look. So now, let's see. What we're doing is I want you to look at this. Okay. I want you to look at, okay, so you haven't put, thank you guys, thank you. So I want to challenge you, right? I want to challenge you. And even if we have to do it from a, like, and let me be clear, because the last time I got somebody that said I pushed the button. We're going to go through, we're going to analyze this. We're going to analyze that. We're going to walk through the strategy. We're going to analyze it. And I'm going to challenge you guys to push the button, okay? I'm going to challenge you guys. If you don't have your MetaTrader 4 set up, if you have not done that yet, I'm going to challenge you guys to make sure that you have that app downloaded. Now, I'm going to tell you this, even in pushing the button, I can't tell you what the market is going to do right now. But, you know, and I'm being very, very clear. If I don't see a trade, I'm not going to call it, but I'm going to challenge you guys to push the button. And I'm saying that because you have to get in there. Like it's no way you cannot get in there. Okay. You just have to sometimes get a feel for it. And because we're slowing down this month of December, because the market slows down, we want to make sure, because how do we get as much money that we did over this past weekend? How do we on Friday, when everybody's saying, oh, the market's slow, even I'm telling you the market has slowed down, how do you, because you're an educated trader, because you understand what you're doing, that's how you take profit, that's how you do it, right? Because that is who you are. And so you want to begin getting a feel. This is the time now to remove those angsts, those anxieties and everything, and push the button, okay? Please just push the button. Next year is going to be so epic. All right. Next year is going to be so epic. And not if it just happens to be a new year, because if it was March, I'd be telling you May was going to be epic. Okay. So you always want to prep and get your mind right and practice. So it has nothing to do with the new year. I used to be one of those people that, oh, my New Year's resolution is, and I grew up. So we're going to grow up. There's no such thing as a New Year's resolution. It's called false motivation. If you're making New Year's resolutions, it's called false motivation, because you should never need something to push you. That's why you don't stick to it. You should never need something to push you to something you want to accomplish in life. That's why you don't stick to it. All right. So we're gonna get some stick it to it in us. We're gonna get some stick it to it in us. All right. So now let's see here. Yeah, I can add that one to the dictionary. I don't know. That one, yeah. So stick it to it. All right, now here we go. Let's talk about the strategy. All right, notice here we are on GBP USD. All right, GBP USD. And what you notice is my higher time frames, right? They're gonna give me direction. My mid time frames is where I analyze. My lower time frames is how I enter a trade. All right, that's who we are. So we notice that we just got a trigger. Okay, so we're gonna analyze this trigger. But you notice that from a historical standpoint, okay, we're going to look at this historical trade. Historical means it's already happened. Whether history is right now is 5:15, 5 o'clock is history. It's never going to be, what's the date? Because I need y'all to understand and stay with me. It's never going to be 5 a.m. December 6th, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time ever again. Even though it was only 14, 15 minutes ago, it'll never be that time. It'll never be that date and time again. So it's already history, right? It's already in the books. So history does not mean 200 years ago. So it does, but it doesn't. That's not what we're talking about. Anything that's already taken place is history. Okay. So now what we're doing is I'm looking at this hot mic. All right. So now what we want to do is I'm going to analyze this. Okay. I'm going to walk you through this, and we're going to look at our new trade, our new analysis. Okay. So understand, we're on the 15-minute chart, okay? Why my mid time frames is where I analyze, okay? My trigger also came through on my 15-minute chart. So here we go. Blue line cross over the red, my stochastic, my leading indicator, okay? Now this is where it begins for you, right? That's where it begins. Well, not here. It's not, oh, I'm here. I'm right here. You're talking about currently. I'm right here. All right, I'm right here. So now let's look at this. This blue line cross over the red and an upward momentum, right? That's what we are. So my blue line cross over the red. Now this is around the 20. It does not have to be on the 20. It has to be around the 20, all right? Let me be clear, okay? Like this one was on the 20, but this was around the 20, all right? Now you will begin to understand there are levels and phases to this. There are phases to this. So as you start tapping into more of a understanding, because when you initially get started, you dive on a call with Miss Anderson on Tuesday nights, and she's gonna walk you through the basics, right? She's gonna walk you through like blue line cross over the red, like green candle, red candle, flat top, flat bottom, piece or the dot flip, which I'm walking you through right now. But that's where she's gonna live. That's where she's gonna stay. She's actually gonna make sure you understand it. I'm about to give you a brief overview, right? So she's gonna actually make sure you understand it. And what's gonna happen is she'll walk you through that, and then you need to understand that. Okay. You have to understand that, because then when you get on this call with me, we're going to implement it and do a little bit more, right? I'm going to mark the charts up just a little bit more. We're going to talk about that phase 3, that top-down analysis, just a little bit more. But you have to have that foundation, right? You have to have that basics, and that's why she spends so much time there and making sure you understand it. That's important. Do not skip it, okay? I don't care if you've been on the call before. I can promise you this. I don't care if you've been on there before. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. You know what? What about the news? I checked the news before the call, but thank you. Let me back up. So I did. It's right here. It's already refreshed. So I checked the news before the call. But yes, I had a Monday morning moment. That's what I would call it. So now you do want to come check the news. It's kind of quiet. We had NFP on Friday, so the news was kind of quiet, right? It was 6:30. I think this is wrong, and it is. All right. All right. So yeah, why is it still showing? Yeah. So it's saying 6:30. That there's a speech at GBP that's a red folder. So in between the calls, you want to pay attention to that. All right. So we definitely going to want to pay attention to that. You open this up and it says, why do traders care? It's pretty much a quiet day, which is typical after NFP. There's some news tonight. So yeah, I looked at it before and then my stream didn't line up. So ta-da, sorry. Now, jump back over here. But thank you, because I asked you guys to do that. We got to stay. We got to check it. We got to teach it right. So now blue line cross over the red in an upward momentum, right? Here we are on my 15. And now I'm looking for a green candle with a flat bottom, you know? So I'm looking for that. I need a flat bottom, okay? I have to have a flat bottom. And then, of course, and I'm going to tell you, like, it is like a little dot. But remember, we're looking, it's like a real little dot when you zoom in, coming out of this candle, look like a tad bit of a wick. It didn't have that when it got started. That just simply means that in the midst of this, let me drop this right here, right? In the midst of this candle, when I dropped down, one of these ended up with a pullback, okay? One of these ended up with a pullback. So that's what happened. So you see that little pullback, just a little bit, that's within there. And that's ultimately what happened, right? Let me see, 15. So that started at 8 o'clock. So all of them should have been on the 8 o'clock hour. You see that little pullback when it got started. So that towards the end, right, you see it was nice and smooth as it went up. But you see, they had a little pullback in here. That's what I was saying. So what happens is that little pullback, as the candle goes through, you'll start seeing just a little bit, but that wick wasn't there in the beginning, okay? I want to be clear about the fact that wick wasn't there. So you'll start understanding that as you start trading. But what you're looking for, if it was, then you would have been here. It's that simple, right? You need a green candle with a flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom. I need a flat bottom, okay? I need a flat bottom. Now, I need also to make sure I have that dot, okay? I need that PSAR. I need that flip to the bottom. So, right, we have that blue line cross over the red. This is my leading indicator. You notice we did have a green candle with a flat bottom. This is, get some of you guys, It doesn't get you, you just anticipate. Let me say it that way. Some of you all begin to anticipate because you all want to push the button without waiting on the dot, right? No, ma'am, no, sir. Okay, we don't do that, right? The discipline is where your success lies, all right? It's in a discipline. It's not in memorizing the strategy. I can memorize it all day and twice on Sunday, but until I have some discipline, meaning that I follow the rules, because it's every time that you don't take a trade or you do take a trade and it goes against you, if you go back and look at it, you be like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I knew better than that, right? It never is going to work out in your favor. It is never. You might get lucky one time, but I promise you it's not going to work out in your favor. Wait for that peace sign flip. All right, guys, wait for that peace sign flip. Wait for that peace sign flip. All right. So now when you see a trigger happen here, all right, we had a trigger and it's at the 132, 1.32, and I don't write fast enough. 1.32589. So this is how you guys are at home, okay? I'm talking to you how you guys will be at home. So we know we got that trigger, all right? And we come here or at work or wherever you are. So we're gonna put this on here. We're gonna put the trigger on here. And you're gonna get your coordinates, okay? You can line it up manually or you can type it in, whichever you want to do, right? Whatever your heart desires. So we know now we have a trigger. But what happens is you guys are like, wait, it's not at the 15. I mean, it's not at that 20, right? It's not around the 20. I know it's overbought. It's around the 80. So now this is where your skill set development comes in, okay? This is where your skill set development comes in. Because I don't need you guys attempting to take this trade if you still don't understand this, right? Do not attempt to do a continuation trade if you don't understand this. This is why the basics are important. You never hear Miss Anderson, right? You never hear Miss Anderson start a trade from up here, ever. Where the yellow line is positioned, no, this yellow line is because that's the trigger price. That's where my trigger happened, right? That's where my trigger happened. That's what this yellow line is. So all I did is go here, look at this price right here, if I can find it, right here. It's called at price. So all I did is put that trigger price on there. That's it. That's all I did. No, the large arrow is when the trade was ready. That means I'm not going to re-explain that. I just spent about 5 to 10 minutes talking about that wick. So the stream is on there, so you can go back and watch it. But I just spent about 5 or 10 minutes talking about that wick. But if it has a wick, you don't take a trade at the wick. All right. So now if there's a wick, you don't take a trade. If it is a wick, then you take the trade. I mean, if it's no wick, then obviously that's where it would be. So that would be correct. Now, so here we are, right? Right here. The stochastic, right? This is continuation. If you don't understand this, so, oh, you're welcome. If you don't understand this, okay, if you don't understand this, then you do not take a continuation trade. You guys with me? You understand? If you understand this, now you can start looking at this, all right? Don't do this if you don't understand this, okay? Y'all would, hello? Yes, no, maybe so. Can you guys co-sign? I need to make sure you understand and make the money. All right. All right. So now, here we go. As we're looking at this, okay, we trigger for a buy. Now, understanding that I trigger for a buy, now I'm going to evaluate this a little bit because I'm going to tell you what I'm noticing. A lot of these, the USD is triggering as it's stronger, which I'm like, okay, what's going on? GBPs? Okay, let me show you guys some stuff I want you guys to start noticing. Look at how all my USDs, right? Base currency, counter currency. So wait, let's start up here. Base currency, counter currency is triggering for a buy. It means USD is stronger, right? Let's come down. Base currency, counter, see, they're all a little mixed, but that could also be where they are in the market. But it's still things that flag my eyesight, right? Say, hey, you might want to check this out. Base currency, counter currency, USD is stronger. I mean, weaker. CAD is stronger, okay? Because it's triggering for a sell. USD is stronger in this one. Base currency, counter currency, right? So base currency, let me pause this. So base currency, counter currency, CAD is stronger. Base currency, counter currency, USD is calling for a sell. Anytime we trigger for a sell, that means that my counter currency is stronger. So you notice that base currency, counter currency, USD is weaker because it's triggering for a buy. Now, that could be one or two things, okay? Same thing here. Now, this is a higher time frame, so that's triggering for a sell. One or two things. Yes, one could be the mixed market. Two, it could just be that a correction is happening because of where it's at in the market. So that, but I'm saying that to you because I want you guys to pay attention. It's the details. It's the details. It's all in the details, okay? So now here we are, 15-minute. You do have that blue line crossing over the red and upward momentum. Why do I not want you to touch this until we begin to get here a little bit? Until you understand this a little bit more. Because I need to understand how my time frames play together. My PSAR is already there. We hit a support and resistance line. We pull back. If you don't understand support and resistance, don't touch this. I'm just going to be honest with you. I need you guys to understand support and resistance a little bit. All right. But you see how it rejected off that support resistance line, which is i.e. that trigger price. All right. That's what that is. Let's jump up here to where our confluence would be. Looking at my confluence, that's a very valid trigger. Very valid. Very, very valid trigger. Okay. So you notice that when we were here, right, that was a valid trigger. So this one had confluence, obviously. And this one is light bulb moments. I love those. So now I want to know where I am in the market because look at this, okay? But yet, let's check with the top. Let's check with the 4 hour. Now look at this 4 hour. This is beautiful. Okay, look at my stochastic and that upward momentum. And you can see that 4 hour candle moving up. So, right, so we see that that trigger is definitely in alignment with the market. But let's look at what we are, okay? Let's just really take a good look at what we are. All right, we already know that this has been triggering significantly for a sell, right? Now, what we came down to, we rejected. When this was trying to push through here, we rejected. Remember last week when we talked about, looking to the left, and when we look left, there was a lot of construction that happened in between here, okay? So even if I just wanted to kind of mark up some of these points where the market kind of dropped down to, right? Even if I wanted to come in here and mark up some of these points, you can see that that's what the market reacted to. Remember, there's stop signs, it's stop signs, it's stop signs, it's stop signs, right? So you can see the market reacted to these zones, right? You see the market reacted to the one here. You see how this is that drop from the news, but yet we stayed getting rejected and we finally broke through. And now the market's trying to pull back up. So that's where that trigger comes from. Does that mean we really have a trade right now? We'll see. But now, do I like that 4 hour? Absolutely. When I look at this, I'm looking at this market being able to come back up to, let's see, somewhere up in here. Like, y'all, why does this default purple? Like the worst color possible on a dark background. Blue is bad enough, but purple? Purple? Somebody had a light bulb moment. Oh my God, I'm about to be a master trader. I love it, I love it, I love it. All right, so you guys see it. Now you see how the market is rejecting off of this zone. And can you see why this is important, that we understand this, right? And we understand it just a little bit deeper as we walk through this, right? You guys with me? So, right? Now, what I'm going to tell you, the one who have never pushed a button, okay? When this flips, now, hear me very clearly, because the last time I did this, I had somebody who know how to trade, and it wasn't their first time, say, I pushed the button. I'm like, I didn't call a trade. So hear me clearly. When this PSAR flip right here for you, okay, I'm on a 5 minute. I want you to push that into a buy. Now, for everybody else, I just analyze the market. I want you to understand. And I'm doing that so they can push it. You guys need to make sure we broke through this clearly. We're still in alignment. I need for you all to not skip your training. Look at how this is pulling back right here. I need for all of you all to not skip your training, okay? Do not skip your training. However, I'm not taking a sale now with this hour and now with this 4 hour. Now, would a market end up selling? It's quite probable and quite possible because of the flow of what's already going on, right? The strength of the US dollar right now. So it's quite possible, right? But right now, we not. Now, let me go ahead and put this on here, okay? Let me go ahead and put this on here. Any questions, comments, or testimonies while I put the harmonic scanner on here? Well, trigger from the harmonic scanner. Any. Stop loss always goes below the PSAR. That doesn't change. Stop loss is always below the PSAR. So if you do, but remember, this is for them to push the button. I just want them to push the button. So their trade might not even end in profit, right? It might not. I just need, but you have to belly flop. You have to get in there. If you've never pushed a button before, because there's some of the ones that say never pushed a button, they've been on a few calls. They've hung around for just a little bit, and I need them to push the button. So it's not a real trade. Let me be clear. It's not a real trade. So please don't come back and be like, my trade didn't take profit. I know. Or that's all I'm gonna say is I know. Or if it do take profit, I'm gonna be like, I'm happy it worked out in your favor. Because it's not a true analysis. We just walked through this, but I do like this, but it's gotta finish getting in alignment. And it's a mixed market Monday. All right. Stop loss never changes. Stop loss is below the PSAR. It's always below the PSAR. All right, always below. So now what I'm gonna do is we are actually going to, and please use a stop loss. Please. I was looking for my notes because I wrote it down. So I went to the harmonic scanner, and there's actually, before we even do it, there's quite a bit. Watch, I'm timed out. I knew it. Oops, I closed the wrong one. How about that? All right. So there's quite a bit on here this morning. Let me jump to the hour. You see, look, they keep trying to update it. I don't know, but I'm not concerned either. So you notice how last week it was just 1 or 2. So they keep doing some updates. I'm not concerned about that. So on an hour, you got quite a bit. I pulled this GBP USD. Okay, I did pull this one. You can pick different brokers. Okay, see, come over here, that GBP USD is there. So it's on more than one broker. You see it's triggering for a buy. My GBP JPY. So my GBP JPY is almost at take profit 3. And I do like the harmonic scanner, for you guys who, are learning. I do like it. It's a tremendous asset. It's a tremendous asset. Not to try to trade over here. You notice they got more stuff on here today that's not there. Please. This I'm actually begging you, right? You see, please do not try to come over here and mark this thing up and try to take a trade over here. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. But it does help. It helps, and you bring it back over here and you analyze it, right? 589. All right, so here, that's 1. That would be take profit 1, which we already saw. That's what we are. We already saw that. So now take profit 2. Oh, wait, nope. I'm looking at the wrong thing. So back up. And it's the only thing that I have, 32727. It's the only thing I have with that other call price. All right, so there we go. We have that one. So it's not like I have a lot of notes this morning. All right, so this one, and then we have this one. No, you don't put more than one. So let me be clear. That take profit means I don't like the fact that it's called a take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3. I don't like that. This is just nothing more than support and resistance lines in the market. You have to make a decision where you want to put a take profit. So, and if you're trying to, you making a decision to do more than one trade, you're making a decision to do one trade that you do a trailing stop loss and you let it ride out. You have to make a decision. This is no guarantee this market is coming up here. What this is, to be clear, we've trained on this. So there's a playlist on our YouTube channel about the harmonics and the vibrato. So that would be a good place for people to kind of go back to. But this is the Fibonacci. All right. So this is a Fibonacci. So this takes the harmonic pattern. You know, that's why I like these, because it scans the market and identifies the harmonic patterns. And the harmonic pattern is a reversal pattern. So that's why I like it. You know, when you combine it with the vibrato hits those trigger points, like the vibrato is going to trigger at every correction, right? That's where the vibrato, not everyone, let me say high probability, because if it triggered at every one, we wouldn't need it. But it triggers at those high probabilities. So, you know, it really gives us some great probability points that we have a trade. And so what happens is now, you see, I don't have to come in here. I know that my vibrato just triggered for a buy, right? My vibrato triggered for a buy right here. It'll trigger here, it'll trigger here. Now, what happened is there's a harmonic pattern in this. There's a harmonic pattern in this. And in that harmonic pattern, that's a reversal pattern. So that reversal pattern is showing you based on a harmonic pattern where the market can come up to. And I spent a lot of time trying to be very, very clear about this, because I used to believe when I started trading, which a lot of people teach it that way, that all you really got to do is just drop it on there, line it up, and bam, let it ride. You know, don't do that to yourself or your bank account. No, ma'am, no, sir. So I'm telling you now, you need to analyze it. And so this is not, I don't want anybody, because that's what I thought too. That's what I was taught too, that this is just a take profit. I wish they would call it something else, you know, like goal 1, goal 2, goal 3, you know, something like that. Like we're going to set 3 different goals that we're going to be able to get to, or we're going to set, you know, 3 different probabilities, you know, call it something. But that's just like, why is a buy stop and a sell stop called a stop? You know, when it's time to go, why is it not called a buy go or a sell go, but it's called a stop? So don't get caught up on the terminology, right? The only one that makes sense is stop loss, because it stops the loss. So that's the only one that really makes sense, that really is in alignment. The word and the verbiage is in alignment with what it's called to do. Okay. So don't get caught up on the verbiage, because that's what we do. Because with the, take profit 1, 2, and 3. Oh, I got 3 take profits. No, you don't. Okay. So just to kind of make a little clear, you know, make it a little clear, and to try to bring a little clarity. All right. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay. So now what I'm looking at, right? You know, so now what I'm looking at, you still doing that one, or you doing multiple trades, or however your heart desires, whatever your heart desires. So here, right? We're moving up into that buy. You can see where that's going. So this is triggered, but we still don't take a trade. Now, had you guys been up already, you would have been able to take the trade down here. And you see, this is why I always tell you, trade to your first support and resistance line, 10 pips and cash out, or your first support and resistance line, right? That's what it is. And that's why there was a comment that said, oh, I got more pips. I got more pips. So once again, now you understand why we're getting rejected right here. Because it's either going to be 10 pips and cash out, or your first support and resistance line. And so for those of you all, when this does, right? When this does, those that I challenge to push the button, all right? When this does eventually flip. Now we have news at 6:30, you know, which is not their norm. Their news is normally done when we get up. So, or when we get on the chart, their news is normally done. So this one is not even showing it's a red folder, but it's a speech. On the other one is showing that it's a red folder. So when you get to here, all right, you see that they're talking interest rates. So that means that this thing can move. If it's positive, we gone, right? Because it's already in our fundamental. All right, this is where our fundamentals meet our technical analysis. All right. So if it's positive, that news is positive, it's gone. Our fundamentals, right? Remember, we already have a harmonic pattern. We have my stochastic, we have triggers, my higher time frame lineup, actually it can come all the way up here. This makes a lot of sense to me, all right, from a technical analysis, because our last significant level was right up in here. So this harmonic scanner is that pattern is identifying that. So if my last significant level in that sale for that bearish market, right? For that bearish market is here, I'm still technically in a bearish market. All right. I can come all the way up here and still be in a bearish market. So remember when I said this makes me say, let me analyze a little bit more and see what's going on. I'm still in a bearish market. So I'm not trading against the trend, right? You understand that obviously, technically you're trading against the trend, but I'm not trading against the quote unquote trend, but that's still 63 pips, right? Everything is in alignment for me to successfully trade that correction. Any questions, comments, or testimonies? Is that making sense? I do not think I got clarity. So when analyzing and setting up to take profit, do you go with speed before lose? I don't understand what you mean about going with speed. I am going to say I do not understand. Because you never go, I don't understand going with speed. We've never, ever, ever talked about speed. Not on any call, not as long as I've been teaching. We've never talked about speed. And my educators haven't either. So I need you to rephrase that question with a little bit more clarity. And and your name is Apple, so I don't know who to redirect you to or we would talk after the call or who to, as far as who you're enrolled with or, who brought you to the call. So unless your name is really Apple, but I haven't seen an Apple in our private groups or anything. So let's see here. So now, so you guys see this though? So this is that zone. All right. Is there a certain amount of time spent on a trade? No, it's all based on the market. It's all based on the market. There's absolutely no time. You do your analysis, and when you do your analysis, you enter the trade. If it doesn't analyze properly, you don't take the trade. How long it takes to take a trade is all dependent on the market. We like that AUD-USD trade. We watched that trade for how long did we watch that trade? We were doing that for like a week, but we were taking profit the whole time through. So actually almost 2 weeks, and we were making a lot of money on it. But no, it's just a swing trader would have been in that trade for 2 weeks. A scalper was in that trade some days, a minute, some days 10 minutes, some days, But the swing trader who let it sit, you gain well almost 400 pips. So it just all depends on the market. Just like right now, what's the market doing? Let's see. Look, 516, that's that pipette. 514, the pipette is moving. My pipette is moving. 6, 4, paint dry, 5, 4. That's the pipette. That means they haven't even moved the pip. Remember, we don't even look at the pipette. 3. Oh, it's still not a whole pip from where we started, but you guys see that? So this is what I mean, right? The market, you cannot, we don't force it. You just let the market be who the market is. And then if it doesn't pull back through here, you're coming down here. But I don't like it going against. I didn't tell you guys about that trade because I don't like it going against my higher time frames and stuff. So you're just gonna have to wait and see. We wouldn't have confluence. So you might end up with something for like a correction to that correction, but that's too much corrections to the correction to the correction. That's just too much. That's when I'm like, I'm gonna just wait it out. I'm trying to get you to that 100%. I'm trying to get you to that 100%. All right, let's talk about it. Let me come over here real quick, right? So this is where that technical analysis met. Yeah, the correction to the correction to the correction. I can explain it, but some of y'all gonna be like, wait, what? So look at everything still triggering, right? We still got Omicron, right? Y'all see Transformers, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like what number Transformers we on? A Decepticon, a Omicron, that's what it sounds like. I'm just saying. So I had to learn how to say it over the weekend, and I probably still didn't say it right. 47525.66. All right. Bitcoin trigger for a sale. So let's talk about it. I think we're going to talk about it. Fun, I think we're gonna talk about it. This how you gonna treat me? Oh goodness, locking up on me. Let me refresh it, and I'm gonna have to remark it up. And just think about it, because I get that question a lot, why this thing is pulling through. The question was, how long do we have to stay in a trade, right? So when we get off of this call, I'm gonna take my daughter to school. For those of you all that were trading with us a while back, right? For those of you all that traded with us a while back, I used to take her to school and I used to almost miss the 9 o'clock call. So let's talk about how long does it take you? The mileage didn't change, right? It's still about, let's say, about 20 miles, 15 to 20 miles to get to her school. However, when I would go to the school and I would leave my house at a certain time, when we would leave here around 7:15, 7:15ish, somewhere in there, we might get to school at 8 o'clock. We might get to school at 8 o'clock. Y'all hear the might? Even leaving at 7 o'clock, and that's because of the traffic, right? So, but didn't change the distance, didn't change where I needed to go, but we might get to school on time. So what we did is we began to go to school earlier. We went to before school care. And because I still it would take me, you see how we might get to school at 8, but I would get back home barely at 9 o'clock, barely, in order to time to do that call. Some days I'd be like, hold on, I'll be there in a minute, guys. Open the line, just go ahead and do your affirmations. Y'all remember, that was painful for me. Y'all were just like, where's she at? So that's what I was in, traffic. So it took a little bit longer for my trade to manifest because of the market conditions, because of the street conditions, right? So it took just a little bit longer. So now that we leave the house, right? Now we leave the house a few minutes earlier. We get to school at 7, I go work out, come back home for the trade, everything. You see the difference? I'm able to do more. So yeah. And all we do is we leave the house. She still get up at the same time. So it's not like I inconvenienced her life a little in it at all, right? So the point I'm making is the mileage didn't change. Where I was going didn't change, right? But it's the conditions that determine how long I'm going to be in my car. Like the other day, I told you we got caught by a train up here. Somebody said derail. I don't really know what happened, but I know we sat about waiting on that train to move for over an hour. My distance didn't change. Where I needed to go didn't change. It's the conditions of the road. It's the conditions that determine the outcome, that determine how long it's going to take me. So the same thing with a trade. The market conditions, my pip count didn't change. My analysis does not change. It's the market conditions that determine how long I'm going to be in a trade. Make sense? That makes sense? All right. Told y'all be compartmentalizing everything. And I say that because I get that question so much, but nobody says, well, how long is it going to take me to get to school now that there's traffic? How long is it going to take me to get to work now that there's traffic? The same amount, nobody ever says that. Nobody. The distance didn't change. You still got to go the same way. All right. So I'm just trying to put some markup back on Bitcoin. You guys saw me have to refresh while I was talking. So exactly, whatever time is going to take, each day is different. Even like this, even Bitcoin, look at this and look at our pip count. So you'll see a little bit more movement in this, but it's stuff not moving right now. That's just the market. I told you guys the market slows down during this time of the year. So that's why I just spent a little bit more time on this, right? And when it moves, it moves. It moves. But when it don't move, you go do something else. Right? Like I was in there, I was looking at stuff for that hour. We was caught by the train. Go do something else. We couldn't literally go anywhere else, but you had to go do something else. Go do something else, right? Analyze it and come back. So like we know it's news at 6:30. Guess what? Trade after 6:30. So here's Bitcoin. This is where it spiked down to. If you listen to your Facebook financial advisors, everybody's spazzing out, pretty much all of them, Ethereum, all of them kind of pulled down and everything else. And so for the time, I'm not going to pull up the other ones. I want you guys to go look at them. But Bitcoin just triggered for a sell, Ethereum triggered for a sell, right? So we know we had kind of been talking about those two. And so when we look at it, okay, when I come down to my lower time frame, this is that zone that we have been in. I do want you to pay attention to all these cycle levels, okay? I marked up the major ones that we did. Right. Obviously, that's going to have a lot more impact. I was just the reason why I wanted this one on here, let me thicken this one up, because, and let me thin this one out because this is not a major one, but it is one. Okay. Like, I want you to see how the market reacts to those major ones. Okay. There's more liquidity around them. And so it doesn't necessarily mean I have to touch it for it to be a rejection. You see the consolidation that was around it initially. And then, of course, it kind of dropped down. It broke through it. But you see when it dropped and how it's hanging out and it's getting rejected off of this one. So it takes a significant amount of momentum, liquidity, and everything for us to get through here, right? The major ones, obviously all of them matter, but it's going to take more to get through. You saw the rejection. So what you guys were able to cash out on, because this is what we discussed. This is what we trained on. So this was a major cycle level. And so what you guys got to see is the market significantly rejecting off of that level. And it had a lot of rejection that took place, a lot of rejection. So it spiked down, the market pulled back up, and then it continued to reject. And now what you're seeing is that rejection that's taking place. And so as this is pulling down, now we're sitting on top of another cycle level. We trigger for a sell on my lower time frame. The trigger is always called in the correction. And you can see, so if we come back through here, look at this, obviously it's not ready. Look at my 15. My 15 is oversold, so it might take a second, right? Look at my 30 is oversold as well, where my analysis takes place. My 1 hour is just trying to break it. That's what it is. Look at how it started bouncing off of that, but look at this pull on this, right? Look at that pull on that. My 4 hour, you see how it's starting to get some curve. So we all know that was a correction. Look at how my 4 hour is starting to get some curve to it. Bitcoin might pull back down here. I can't promise you that, but I'm telling you what I see right now. Now, obviously what happens with the US dollar, if there's any news, that's out there, but I do want you guys to kind of pay, Ethereum is still up here. So that's our markup for Ethereum that we had. And you see it bounce back. It got all the way down here, right? It got all the way down here and then it pulled up and now we have a correction right there. So we'll see. But if this breaks this, you got to trade. All right. You got to trade. All right, guys. Now there obviously is no 9 o'clock call. So I'm over my time, but let me look at this real quick. Maybe if I remember this password. If y'all quit trying to break in my account, we won't have this problem. Whoever you are. Nah, I change this thing all the time. And then I don't know what it is, and then nobody gonna be able to trade. You see what you did? You see what you did? All right. Now you see that when we're looking at our indices, all of our indices are triggering for a sell, right? Everything is triggering for a sell. So once again, I just want to point this out because I do have to go. But I do want you guys to pay attention to this as well. You can kind of see where this zone is. Same rules apply. Strategy, BYOB cash out, time frame confluence, right? BYOB cash out, time frame confluence, and then your top-down analysis. This is your top-down analysis approach right here, right? And if I look at my 4 hour, everything is in alignment for us to continue down. This is what happened with Omicron when COVID-19 actually hit, guys. This is what happened when it hit. But it did it a lot faster. Believe me, had this thing been, we have figured out, we wouldn't have canceled that 9 o'clock call, would have figured everything else out. But had it been moved, but I'm telling you guys, I told you, if I didn't tell you, I told you. If I didn't tell you nothing, I know I told you that this was going to be very profitable as this drops, right? The fear that's associated with average everyday people, you have to remember the society that we live in right now is about invoking fear. I don't care where you tune into, everything is about invoking fear. It's a fear market. So that fear creates a fear market. So that's where that sentiment comes in. Now, this obviously is going to affect because Oh, we shut down. Oh, you lost your job. Oh, you didn't. Oh, no, the vaccines work. The vaccines don't work. Oh, no, you need to get vaccinated. Oh, now you need to boost. Like all of that is a fear marketing, okay? It's a propaganda marketing. And this is not about how I feel, how you feel about it. I'm just letting you know how this impacts the market. And so we don't need to get caught up in that. So if you got any emotions and what I just said based on your personal beliefs, opinions, and thought processes, what happened with your family or everything else, I need you to check those emotions at the door and come trade and be profitable. All right. Because the conversations that I'm going to have is always going to be to guide you toward profit and success. All right. That's where I'm going to guide you. So everybody has a personal opinion. Everybody has a personal thought. We saw it during the elections, right? Everybody has a personal opinion, a personal thought, but there were comments when we got back on the call for people who missed the trades and missed the opportunities and missed the analyzation because they allowed their personal emotions and their personal feelings to get in the way of that. We're going to check our feelings at the door. We're going to be consistent and we're going to walk in wealth. So regardless of how you feel, you're not impacted by it, right? So the only thing I feel like Omicron might do right now is impact my trip to the United Kingdom, right? So we'll see. So it just all depends. It just all depends on what's going out and what comes out of this, okay? But right now, I know we're gonna make some money. Let's make some money. And so as we're looking here, you can see where this is pulling down. You see the rejection, and so you kind of see the zone that you have right in there, all right? So that's the same thing with our cryptos, but with our cryptos, okay? With our cryptos, you definitely can see that's what they did. Let me real quick. My daughter gonna be like, Mom, we gotta go, Mom. Watch what I tell you. So with our cryptos, if I kind of pull back, right? Let's kind of pull it back. Actually, let me get off the 4 hour. Let me get on the daily at least. All right, so this is Bitcoin, right? In March 20, right? That's Bitcoin. Let me actually. Yeah, we're not gonna be big impacted. All right, so it's on a monthly, guys, just to kind of show you the impact. So Bitcoin, and this is obviously the main crypto that's out there. And so this is February of 21. If you kind of look at this, right, August of 19, look at where it was. Look at where Bitcoin was, okay? Now, I'm not analyzing right here. I'm just trying to show you how this thing moves. So right here, obviously, that's February of 19. You guys can see how this thing dropped. I mean, it dropped. And so many people, from an investment standpoint, you got in there, but you also knew what to do. See, I don't care what time frame you're on. I'm on a monthly. Blue line, crossover red, and upward momentum. I got my green candle with a flat bottom, piece R flip to the bottom, right? So yeah, it works. It works. It's a market strategy. And so, when you can kind of see what's happening. And you can see that it rose, but now here I am in February of 21, where it rose, and then obviously June, where it dropped a little bit, which we all saw. And so what's happening is, if you look at this, you can see where it's getting rejected right here. So you can see it look like a little double top, but we don't teach you the market structure. I teach you to read the market. I teach you market structure. I don't teach you the patterns. But you can see where this is a very significant area of rejection. Even if we come down to this psych level, this 30,000, you can see that 30,000, that psych level that's right up in there, how that's a strong area of impact. All right. And so as we continue to push through, you can kind of see what a market is. All right. Questions, comments, testimonies. Gotta go. Questions, comments, testimonies. Was this helpful this morning? All right, awesome. For my button pushers. Yeah, I told you that PSAR, we don't have a flat bottom yet. All right, don't have that flat bottom yet. You just kind of wait that out just a little bit. But I'm talking to my button pushers, not everybody, because we have a red folder coming up here. See how this just triggered for a sale? We have a red folder that's coming up at 6:30, but I just need you guys to push the button, okay? That's all I need you to do. So all I need you to do. So actually you got a little momentum that's pushed back to the top side. Look, my 3 minute has that PSAR flip. So if you guys analyze it, you got 1 minute, you get some candles coming through and everything. You get some nice candles. Everybody might be in a trade, not just my button pushers. All right. So we got 1 minute. Y'all gonna hear an alarm in a second. Look, see, told you. So now we know everybody should be able to. I told my button pushers to get ready because that 3 minute already gave us that indication. And so let's see if we can drive it. It's slow now, it's slow, but I still need you guys to be mindful, okay? Please be mindful because news is coming up. Do not try to push the issue. Don't try to push the trade. Don't try to get more than what you need, okay? Please don't do any of that. Please, 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 please. All right. Uh-oh. Okay. See, I got to get off this line. Birthday week. Happy birthday. And you want the mortgage payment out the market. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Pips pay bills. I'm telling y'all, they pay some bills. All right. And don't forget, debit card, BYOB Movement Worldwide. Get on the wait list. I love you guys. I will see you actually tomorrow. Haha. No 9 a.m. No 9 a.m. No, and you like pips and trips. It's time. Yeah, you just got off vacation. So guys, I'm gonna tell you, he make jokes in the chat, but pips and trips, that's what he is all the time. Pips and trips. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow morning. For my people that push the button. You had a nice cruise. Haha. For the people that push the button, drop something in the chat. Please, and thank you. All right, guys.